And admittedly, frequently she lures people in with, "Come watch me beat my husband with a sword." And those people come in laughing and cheering and thinking it's awesome because apparently spousal abuse is funny when it's the girl beating the guy. When it's the other way around, it's not as funny. We did a TV show. We're from Iowa City, Iowa, where the University of Iowa is. You know, the Hawkeyes. We used to have a sports program. It's one of the most liberal towns in the country, and we did a live TV show where my wife was going to be interviewed, and I was going to be doing these big, nasty body slam throws on one of our demo team guys. We brought the mats in, we had them all set up. The guy didn't show up. We're pacing in the green room. It's a live TV show going, okay, what do we do? We're waiting for Hutch. And somebody poked their head and said, okay, you're on, go. Like, the guy I'm supposed to throw is not here. I'm like, okay, you're going to have to talk and do the throws. Just flip me around in the hallway. It'll be okay. She's like, I have no idea what you're going to do. I said, I gave you a script. She goes, I'm supposed to talk. I don't know what balls to do or throws. She's like, just throw me. So then we walked out. They start talking. And I did the interview while body slamming my wife back and forth. Does anybody remember the Flintstones? Remember Bam Bam? Bam, bam, bam. That's kind of what our program looked like. And it was like, look, ladies and gentlemen, Samurai Dan and Jillian. You guys are awesome. It was due to happen. I've been upgraded. Somebody at ASIN cosplayed as me, but they did it one step crazier than you. They actually built a costume because they had a mannequin head for wigs. They built a costume. They built shoulders out. And so the guy was actually looking through his kimono top and had the samurai with a head wrap on it.
So it was really tall.
It was like 8 feet tall. You'd have to wear heels. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get used to. My wife is now Asian. How hot is that? Yeah, so she gets credit for that. I'm body slamming my wife on live TV going, this is going great, because people are gasping that are recording, and I'm doing a great job doing the interview, and she's flying at me, I'm like, bam, back to the ground, talk to him, she gets up, and I flip her again. By the time that 5-minute segment was over, the TV station had already had 3 phone calls from activist groups complaining that we were glorifying violence against women. No lie. And when we were done, the station manager met us and said, look, can you give us a statement that we can read or tell these activist groups when they're calling and complaining because they're really upset and we don't want to get in trouble? So is there something you can say that would help explain this? And I said, yes. Just tell them that you don't know her the way I do. I can't use that. So I had to go through this long spiel about how it's actually a victory for women's rights that they can be uke, the receiver of techniques, because traditionally in Japanese martial arts, that has been a position always used occupied by a man because we're big and tough, and they're the throwing dummies for the instructor. So to have a beautiful blonde being the throwing dummy was actually a good thing, a positive thing, an advancement for women's rights. And they didn't buy it, but it sounded PC enough they used it. I liked our first answer better. Oh, nowhere like I do. But that has been the last time we've done any public appearance that I get to win. So now our stage show resembles our home life. Gee, go figure, the one cosplaying is her like that one, and the other one looks sad. Now that's getting into a role. When you feel my pain, yes you are, I kind of like it. I think you make an admirable samurai Dan. Uh-oh. You could be my stunt double. She's seen our show before. All right, you, front and center where you belong. I'll move over here. Actually, I'm leaving with them. You want to be me, you have to do all the talking from now on. Of course she's scary. You realize our first date was we were working after class on They should do the show, except she normally sets things on fire. Our first date, her looking at me saying, "It's late. I've been working for your school all day. You owe me dinner." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Chinese food. We're going now." I'm like, "Yes, dear." And thus started an 11-year marriage of "yes, dear." I know, she's suddenly a role model, isn't she? Hey! Don't have a guy that can beat on all day long and his big answer is, "As you wish." Which reminds me, you guys are here to see samurai sword combat, aren't you? Alright, let's get started then. For those of you that don't know and actually care, I'm Samurai Dan. This is my lovely better half, my wife Jillian. We are here to do an introduction to samurai martial arts. The samurai form a big part of anime culture, and even if you're overwhelmingly in love with some blobby-looking thing with tentacles sticking out, it's my favorite anime. In the background is actual Japanese architecture from the 16th century and really cool, sharp, shiny things.
Yay, sword.
See? Shiny. And we're here to explain a little bit about the shiny part of anime culture and history, because there's a lot of misinformation about it, and honestly, we're going to educate you and you're going to have fun watching me get my butt kicked. Yeah, thanks. The former Marine. Hoorah! Really? An anime con? That's as weird as the sports are.
You're in the Navy.
Jarhead. There's probably an anime convention, anime character that looks like a mason jar. That has nothing to do with our show. Samurai martial arts. What you need to understand about the samurai warriors from feudal Japan is that their arts, the katana or longsword, was not a weapon that you just left off to the side, and when you needed it, you picked it up, you used it, and then you set it aside and went back to whatever you did for a living. The samurai were the nobility of feudal Japan, which meant they had other people to do their work for them, and they were full-time warriors. The samurai began training at age 3. No lie, at age 3, parents would give their children sticks and say, "Here, go play with your brother." This is parenting by natural selection. I like that. Both of our kids that survived turned out okay. We won't talk about the other ones. But from 3 to 7, those Japanese children got to learn basic stances and how to whack their siblings. And at age 7, they were accepted into a formal training environment called a dojo, where for the next 8 years, they would undergo rigorous training full-time in the arts of war, concepts, strategies, history, and how to use the weapons. And at age 15, they had a coming-of-age ceremony called a Genpuku, where all those skills were put on display. At the conclusion of those tests, those samurai children that passed, were given their first shinken, or real sword, and from that point on, they were treated as an adult. Now, I know in this country, if you're 15 and you want to be treated like an adult, what that means is you're tired of mom telling you to take out the trash and clean up your room. I'm an adult, treat me that way. In Japan, if you were 15 and treated as an adult, that means when dad goes to war, so do you. So it's a little bit more serious, so they treated it a little bit more seriously. They still had to keep their room clean and take out the trash. We're going to have my wife demonstrate a little bit about samurai swordsmanship. That would be right there. It's been pointed out when I do the forms that I do not look like a 5'1" Asian man. So, instead of me demonstrating the forms, she does it. Because nothing says feudal Japanese culture like a 5'9" Amazon blonde. Well, yeah, psycho, that works. Shonen no kata, yoi. For the samurai, early on, they had to train their body, their lower back, their legs, For balance and power and precision, samurai armor weighs about 65 pounds. They had to be able to move in that armor. They had to develop strength and balance. I'm stalling because this position, if you train in our school, will make you stay there for quite a while. My wife has threatened to kill me if I leave her in that position more than 30 seconds. And I believe her, so we're going to move on. Shonen no kata. Ichi, ni, san, shi, ho, ro, teach, hash, yu, ju, reach. Juni, why are you smiling?
I like the way she thinks.
See, our arts go back to a time in world history when people actually lived and died by their skill with a sword. It wasn't about tag. It wasn't about scoring a point by going, "Wah! Yay, national champion of Storm Lake, Iowa!" And I get a trophy, a pretty colored belt, or a medallion, and all those things are cool. But they're not very serious. The arts that we teach and try to keep alive, every cut was intended to end a fight by cutting down your opponent. So in this next form, even if she's going to demonstrate basic angles. She's demonstrating the angles. In her mind, though, this is a very real thing. Every cut is cutting down an opponent. So when you watch her, there's just some fictional, creepy opponent standing in front of her. Fictional, creepy bad guy standing in front of her that she's hacking down with a sword. Hakogiri. Each. Ni. San. Chi. Go. Ro. Teach. Ha. Come on. Really? Alright, fine. As the samurai trained, not only were they looking to gain proficiency in a weapon one-on-one that they could wield, they trained for combat on the battlefield. And the battlefield was about team tactics. It's us against you. We have swords, you have a camera. That'll come in handy when the police want evidence, but it won't help you right now. But the battlefield could be a very chaotic place. There could be times we get separated while we're fighting against all of you. And unlike today's video games, you know, where your roommate who's doing second player mode, he runs off to the bathroom and put the game on pause. For the samurai, if we got separated, she's alone on the battlefield, still fighting with her myriad foes. That's a tough phrase. It means a lot of people who don't like her. She has to keep fighting. And so you could be actually completely surrounded by people that don't like you, and the samurai would have to be able to keep swinging and stop it. The samurai would have to be able to keep swinging, cutting in any direction, delivering a strike with full force and balance. So to do this next form, what I want you to do, I want you to come right here, and I want you to pretend that you are all alone on the battlefield, and you are completely surrounded by the enemy. Okay. It is just you alone in a sea of hostile, unfriendly faces, except the guy with muffins. He brought us muffins. Alright, so it's just you. Forget about that.
Muffin button?
I know, but he'll be dead and he'll take the muffins before you get there. It is just you, all alone in a vast sea of hostile, unfriendly faces. You're all alone, surrounded by people who hate you and wish you harm. You know, like high school.
Oh.
Shiho-giri. Each. Ni. San. Chi. Go. Bad. Bad. What is wrong with you?
High school would have been more fun with the sword.
True statement.
No true.
Jefferson City, Missouri last week and got a standing ovation. Apparently in Missouri, nobody likes us.
Or the cheerleaders.
Wasn't Buffy a cheerleader?
I think so.
Yeah, I just went lame enough to make a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reference. Really?
Yeah.
I'm at an anime convention. They looked at me funny at that last mixed martial arts competition we were at. Buffy, what?
Look, Buffy.
You're not done yet.
You mean it's gonna hit you with this?
Really? You want me to get hit with a sword?
Yeah.
Fine. All right, it's okay. My pimp always said the customer's up. I mean, my dad always said the customer is always right. Don't look at me funny. We're not in Arkansas. That's not the same person. Hi. You didn't get invited back to Arkansas either. All right. As the samurai trainer, first stage, you learn to use the sword correctly, safely. So if you hit somebody with a deadly weapon, it's on purpose. Not oops, sorry. The next step to samurai's development was learning what to do if somebody attacks them with a sword. And just to be clear, the average human response, if someone just jumps out randomly and attacks you with a sword, and you haven't trained or practiced, average human reaction looks something like this. You know, the flinch response. It's about one step up from the fetal position. And just so we're clear, not only is the fetal position of no use on the battlefield, it won't help you in your dating life either. So it's time for the samurai to know what to do if somebody attacked them with a sword. And while you're sitting out there going, why do I need to know this? The time of the sword is past. No one uses swords. I don't need to have this skill. This is the point in the weekend when I remind you to take a good look around at where you are. You are at an anime convention. Do you know what that means? That means you are surrounded by faceless people, anonymous people in costume, heavily armed with poor impulse control. So if you're going to need this skill anywhere, it's going to be here. So for those of you that take karate and taekwondo, this is our shout out to the greatest movie of all time. Oh, The Karate Kid! That really cool overhead block you learned in class was never intended to be used against a sword. Just so we're clear, 3-foot sharpened razor blade designed to cut entirely through human bodies, and they come flying some psychotic sword-wielding one, and there is one here this weekend. At least one. Jumps at you from out of the corner and swings a sword at you, and your brilliant idea is to go,
Hey, last son!
arm off. That sword will go entirely through a human body. Your arm out in front is not going to work very well. In fact, it's the sort of move you can only do once.
Yep. Really, guys?
Twice. 2 arms! Hey, yeah! Nice move.
We still consider that a Darwin Award, though.
Can we say Darwin Award in Illinois?
Yeah, we're not in Kansas.
Okay, good. We were at a red fair in Kansas, and there was a lady sitting right about where you are who got mad at me. Now, I'm used to that. But she got full-on mad. You know how your mom gets mad and it goes in phases? It's stages. Stage 1 is this. Stage 2. Somebody just flinched. Stage 3.
Uh-oh.
And when you hit this, it's going, there's nothing you can do. We had a lady in Kansas go through the whole 4 stages of road rage at Samurai Dam. And she interrupted our show and started yelling at me. Angrily, not heckling, mad. And she went, you! Do you know where you are? And I'm like, I'm on stage. And she said, you're in Kansas. Do you know what that means? And I went, got it. We'll talk slower.
Oh! Burn!
It was a lot funnier. We didn't get invited back there either. So, after the first couple of Darwin Award winners were weeded out of the gene pool, the samurai learned this amazing concept that we're going to share with you today. If someone takes a 3-foot sharpened razor blade and swings it violently at your head, the best thing you can do
Is dodge.
is move! Well, I didn't say it was rocket science. But we teach this for a living, and this is the hardest thing to teach people. Sword comes in. Hey, move. Sword comes in. You get your body out of the way. So the sword. That's it. I'm gonna go sit by her. Hi. No. Look, you're supposed to swing at me 2 or 3 times. That's for them to understand what we're talking about. Okay, it's educational entertainment. It's entertaining that you swing the sword at me. We're supposed to learn, though. You swing, I move. We're in Illinois 2 or 3 times. Even the slowest person in the room figures this out. We did have to go through the whole set of 10. But 2 or 3 times, you just kept attacking me with a sword.
Yeah.
That's not educational.
Yes, it is.
Of
course it is.
Abuse, and I did not sign on for abuse.
Yeah, you did.
Well, we have to continue with the show. Get up
No,
here.
I'm not going to be abused.
All right, fine. How about will you continue with the show if we let you play with your sword?
Yeah, I love playing with myself. Oh, that's
Oh.
sword combat! Whoa! Really, you're going to block? Yeah, please don't. If your expectations for a show are that low, you shouldn't be. Do you know why you shouldn't applaud? That's not sword combat. If you pay money to see a sword fight and it looks like that, get your money back. This is not real sword fighting. We're not even hitting each other. So if we miss, it doesn't matter. No one's going to die. Where's the fun in that? That's not a good sword fight on the battlefield. That's not even a good fight at our house on Friday night. Because when she gets angry at you, and it will happen, don't kid yourself. You're a man. Don't get angry. When it happens, that frying pan, anybody see Tangled? Frying pans, who knew, right? That frying pan is not going over there, it's not going over there, it's going right down Broadway. It's on a non-blonde, that's a lethal injury.
Oh.
Coming down Broadway now, dear.
Which brings me to the next part of our samurai training. If someone attacks you with a sword and you're similarly armed, don't die! Again, not rocket science, but I want you to watch. 25 years of martial training went into this next move. You ready? I call this move blocking! I highly recommend blocking. See, the way it works, bad guy swings their sword at your face. You take your sword, you put it between their sword and your face, thus preserving this. Yeah, I know. Why bother, right? Thanks!
Dear, you're forgetting part of this again.
No, I don't think so. You swung. I put the sword between your sword. I put it behind my head.
What about parrying?
I put it out like this. And
You left part of it out, though.
right, I should have rolled up my sleeve and showed off the gun. Wah! Like Arnold, right?
You know, dear, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words.
It's on the internet.
And these guys have already decided you talk too much. So do your cool move thing again. Do your lock. And we'll see if they can figure out what you
I
forgot.
need to do my movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah!
All right. Hit me back.
You got it, Beck!
You have to parry.
Alright, this sucks.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Oh.
Look, you know the part we talked about earlier where if somebody takes a sharp sword and swings it violently at your head, you should.
Look at it, it is shining. What are you laughing at? That worked! You know why it worked? How many of you are familiar with a term called ADD? Oh, never mind, put your hands down. We're an anime dog. We coined that phrase. We learned a new term about 6 months ago. The term is ADOS, and what it stands for is Attention Deficit.
Oh, shiny.
And I want you to know, my wife is loaded with this disease. That sounded a lot worse than that. You
You know what? I know these guys were attention than you were earlier. If somebody swings the sword violently at your head, you should.
Dodge.
How'd you guys know we're from Iowa? That's like a mating call where we're from. It gets colder. I mean, I am so used to sleeping on the floor in our hotel room or in the hallway.
Move.
I have trouble with words with a V in them.
You gotta get out of the way still.
What?
You have to move. When I swing the sword at you, you're gonna do your cool block and you're gonna move.
Is that where I went and sat by her?
Yes.
I can do that.
No. Do your block and your move.
Oh, okay. So you're going to swing out on the block, and then I'm going to go sit by her.
No. You're gonna block and move at the same time.
I can't do that.
It's only two things.
It's called a parry.
Yeah?
It's impossible. I cannot do it. I'm a man.
Alright, you swing your sword at me, I'll show these guys how the whole blocking and moving thing works.
I can swing my sword at you?
Yeah.
You love it? What's wrong with you? Perverted. By the way, parents, if your children are getting these innuendo jokes, you're bad parents. So, why? I'm going to swing my sword at you. And you're going to...
Block and move.
Yeah, blah, blah, whatever. I get into the sword.
Go for it.
I love this show. Bye.
Ah, I win.
That didn't work out the way I thought.
You wanna try again here?
Yes, I'm much better the second time. Oh, like you've never used that line before. Actually, there's girls out there giggling. You've heard that line, haven't you? It's probably a line this time, too. All right, fine. I attack. You
Go for it.
got it. Fine. Fine.
Pow!
So basically, every time I attack you, you win.
Because she's a woman.
It is starting to seem a lot like our dating life. One more time. All right. No! We're done. I quit. We're not. I want to. This was not part of our script. I demand to know who wrote this part of our show. You know what? I know that's impossible. You did not write this part of our show.
Oh, yeah?
You know how I know? There were no crayon marks on my script.
That's because she ate the box of crayons last night.
Is that what that was?
Uh-huh.
I thought you were cooking again.
Oh!
It's not that bad. Dinner last night was much better than normal. I was going to ask if we could have the same thing again tonight.
Dinner's on you tonight.
Ooh, that could be kind of...
No! That's it. It's on.
Really?
Yeah!
An actual sword fight.
We are totally at that point in the show where it's time for the epic fight scene!
Make it shorter. All right. You asked for it. To the death.
No! To the pain!
Really? She went Princess Bride. You guys cheated. Inconceivable. Every woman on the planet loves the movie The Princess Bride. Do you know why? There are two reasons why every woman loves the movie The Princess Bride. Number one, the long-lost lovers are reunited. Aww.
Oh.
And the first thing she does, she kicks him off a mountain. And while he's falling, all he gets to go, ooh, ah, ee, ah, ooh. All he gets to say is, as you wish. Reason number two why every woman on the planet loves The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride is the only movie that teaches eating chocolate will bring you back from the dead. And if that's really true, she's going to live forever.
You know what they say about chocolate, dear?
Yep, it's supposed to be a substitute for good stuff. Oh. All right, fine. Prepare to die. See, I didn't do Princess Bride too. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. I don't have much of a life. I watch TV. At least that's what I tell her. It's on the computer. To the Praying Man!
Bring it!
I've been married 11 years and pretty much unique. I mean, on with the fight scene. Right, jump, go! Jump, go! Hey, jump, go! Right, jump, go! Right, jump, go! Short fight! Right, jump, go! Right, jump,
Both of them.
He said off with your head. Roll your
Really?
Yeah.
All right. As you wish.
Well, are you gonna pout?
I am a man.
Just get your butt kicked. All right, fine. How about you get to do the last part of the show?
I didn't finish. That one took a second. You know the worst part? The first time that happened in one of our shows, we actually did the big fight scene, and we were flying around, and I was short on air. We got done, and she said, "Will you stop whining, or will you not pout if I let you finish the show?" And my line was, "I get to finish the show?" And we move on to the next part. I was out of breath. So she said, "Would you quit pouting if I let you finish the show?" And all that came out with microphones was, "I get to finish?" One college girl snickered, and everybody lost it, and I realized what we just did. Like, okay, let's keep that in the show, because somebody laughed once. Now we're contractually obligated to keep saying it. The end of the show. This is the part where we have audience participation. It is Saturday. We are sacrificing a virgin. That's, I have problems with words with a V in them. All right, we need a volunteer. The funny thing is, half the time when we're on stage and I say, we need a volunteer, we're going to sacrifice a virgin, all the girls have their hand up and then go, and then realize what they just admitted to, and then go, too late, Mom was watching. Hi, dear. We need a volunteer.
I'd like the one in the blue hat. Yes!
It's the blue. All right, send her up. Yay!
Please, Blue.
Shelby, everybody wave and say hi, Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
Everybody wave and say bye, Shelby.
Bye, Shelby.
The last part of our show, we're going to demonstrate the Japanese art of kami-shigiri. That is test cutting with a razor-sharp blade. For those of you that were at the history of sharp shiny pointy things panel yesterday, this is the 700-year-old folded steel, differentially heat-treated $40,000 katana. And we're going to use that, along with Shelby's cooperation, to show you what test cutting looked like. You see, during the 16th century, the samurai had the opportunity to test their skills with a sword on the battlefield. But after 1600, when the Tokugawas came into power, there were no more large-scale pitched battles. So the samurai had to test their skills in other ways. For a while, they used prisoners to cut in small pieces. But before that, they had a practice. It only lasted 10 years, but it was called Tsujigiri. This is important for you. Tsujigiri is literally translated as Japanese gets. Tsujigiri means peasant cutting. And it means just what you think it means. For 10 years, it was legal for the nobility to cut down peasants just to make sure their new toys were sharp. So Shelby, this is what you volunteered for. Do you see the cutting stand here? Do you see the spike on top? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to climb up on the stand, and I want you to sit right there. And then don't move, and I'll do the rest of the work. Now, while Shelby's getting ready, let me tell you a little bit more. Shelby, you volunteered for this. How many of you want to see me come with a razor sharp 700-year-old sword? Right here. Oh, yeah. Nothing like peer pressure. Shelby, the customer is always right, you understand?
Sweetheart, I think it might be time for a stunt double for you.
A stunt double for Shelby?
Yeah.
Really? Who do you think you are? Kid Tom Cruise?
Don't be ridiculous. She's much taller. Someday we're
Actually, that might be true. Why? We're not Scientologists. So, back to our show. Shelby!
Shelby, do it up.
Oh, seriously? Yeah, looks just like her. Put the hat on, nobody will know. Really? All right, fine. Don't give us the hat. But for volunteering, let's send you back to your seat with your very own Darwin Award. I mean, Certificate of Appreciation. We have a button for you that says, I volunteered for Sujigiri with your picture on it. We'll send you back to your friend before your mother realizes what you... It looks just like you. Shut up, kid. To be honest with you, Sujigiri was not very popular in Japan either. And why? Well, yeah, of course it wasn't popular with the peasants. Times have not changed. The important people that are in power don't care about what the little people think. The practice was actually abolished by the samurai class because they deemed it inconvenient. No lie. The reason why was if she sends her peasant to get her a drink of water, and I hack them down with my sword, she has to get her own drink of water. And she's lazy. I mean, inconvenienced. So they abolished the practice. After some trial and error, what they settled on was this. This is rice straw. You know, rice being the staple of Japanese agriculture. They used its products for almost everything. Now what they discovered was, if you take rice straw, gather it together into bundles, tie it off with these authentic 16th century rubber bands, inconvenient. If you soak water, wow, you'd think I stayed up last night drinking. I stayed up, I just don't drink. I get this way sober. That's hard. Yeah, because then if I get to do something really fun at night, I remember it the next day. No one has to show me pictures from their cell phone. Chuck. What the Japanese discovered is that if you soak the rice straw in water, the water soaks into the fibers. They swell, they gain weight and density until it takes on the approximate characteristics of Shelby. And this gave the samurai something to test their skills with a blade with that 450 years later, no one's complaining about. There are no activist groups complaining that the rights of rice straw is being violated.
That's not entirely true anymore. You antagonize those kids.
We did a sci-fi convention in Roanoke, Virginia 2 years ago, and I made that comment, and a group of Virginia Tech students put together a Facebook group. Advocates for the protection of rice straw. With a picture of some huge, grossly overweight Japanese guy from an old black and white movie hacking through a bunch of straw with a sword, all outlining their proposal to ban cutting of rice straw for samurai sword demonstrations, and then linked it to our Facebook page. Apparently, this is what a degree from Virginia Tech will get you. We didn't get back there. Well, while you watch me cut this rice straw down and envision Shelby squirming awkwardly and whimpering, what I want you to remember is that a $40,000 razor-sharp, folded, differentially heat-treated piece of steel should cut through weeds. Duh. A $7 machete from Walmart should do that if it's ground properly. That's what it was made for. What the samurai were looking for was a little bit more than just really cut through the weeds. They were looking for angle, because those big sloppy figure-8 cuts you see when you're staying up late at night watching reruns of Conan the Barbarian on Cinemax. Am I the only one that does that? Thank you, the Crow. We're there. Those big 45-degree angles didn't work very well on the battlefield because of the way armor was made and shaped, and frankly, just our own human anatomy. The samurai were looking for a little bit steeper cut. About a 35-degree angle down was more optimum for dispatching your opponents. So while you watch me cut, check the angles out. If you think I'm really off, by all means, come tell me about it after the show. I love criticism. I had a teenage boy come up a couple weeks ago and your angle looked more like a 37.5. I'm like, go away. I look over and his mom's standing there all proud and thinking it was really clever that he came up and insulted me while I was still armed. I have no idea where he's at now. I know where parts of him are. Anyway, downward diagonal. Hey! Shelby! Your arm. Wow! That light-hearted of applause, that may be the longest forward pass you see complete in Chicago all year. Sorry. Downward diagonal. Yeah! Now the samurai didn't just cut down, they also cut back up. Because on the battlefield, that cut, while harder to do, was really hard to defend. And samurai armor is designed to protect from the top down. In fact, they had a divided metal apron called a haidate that had metal plates on the outside, but nothing on the inside of the thigh because the samurai were cavalry. Means they rode horses. And if you spend any time on a horse, you realize in a hurry that having something metal on the inside of your thigh chafes. So they didn't put metal there for armor. So while they were on foot, that was a tremendous vulnerable target because the femoral artery runs right up the inside of the leg. And if you take a sharp, shiny thing, what?
This is still supposed to be a family show. No, artery kills you.
All right, fine. If you take the big, shiny, sharp thing and slam it to the inside of someone's thigh, bad things will happen.
Yep.
Upward diagonal. Hey! Anybody else want a piece of Shelby?
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
That's not what I meant! Now that looks more familiar. 4 or 5 people sticking their hands up and the ball drops to the ground. Upward diagonal. Yeah! Now for anybody who's ever seen a Samurai Epic or Samurai Jack episode, at the end there's the bad guy. He's big, he's scary, he's got bad breath, barely speaks English. Actually, that sounds like the former governor of California. But he's flying towards the camera with his monstrous sword up over his head going, ah! Don't take my picture of that. That's always what ends up on Facebook. But that's the bad guy, flying towards the camera. And waiting for him on the other side is the hero of our picture. He's better looking, speaks English, probably gets a girl at the end. But he is waiting to end the Governator's part of the movie. I mean, the bad guy. When he lands by cutting him in half. Go!
Question, can you cut down in the middle of it and get yourself like that,
You know, I've never actually had somebody ask me to cut them before. You're either seriously warped or you were the laziest emo kid ever. Zombieland fans still out there, please remember rule number 2.
Double
tap. Hey! Just a little off the top. But I'm sorry, we have no substitute liposuction. For anybody interested in hitting on my wife, we do circumcision. Hey, oh, one more. Cool. Bring it on. No. I'm going to do some really fancy trick cutting now. Nobody wants to see you cut with a sword.
I do.
All right, fine. How many of you would like to see my wife do something incredibly dangerous with a sword? Look, kids, in the summertime, you're not in school. Don't raise your hand just yet. Better. Thank you. How many of you would like to see her do something? I think he was very good. Something incredibly dangerous and stupid with a sword. How many of you would like to see something incredibly dangerous and stupid with a sword while putting my life at risk at the same time? Say this. Alright, fine. This is what we're going to do. Because you asked for this. This is the way it's going to work. Do you remember that upwards cut she wouldn't let me describe very well? I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take this 700-year-old blade and I'm going to swing through the target, severing Shelby from her legs. Shelby, thought I forgot about you, didn't you? You see her all tied up in a horror movie with the bad guy coming forward with a chainsaw and she's going, yay, something. So, I'm going to cut out through the target and sever them out in half. And my wife, who I love dearly and have never, ever done or said anything to possibly upset her, my wife is going to take that 300-year-old razor blade and swing it through the air. She's going to hit the piece of mat that I cut off, and she's going to cut it in half before it hits the ground.
Let's see. Aww.
I hate you guys.
We love you too.
Right, so this is the way it works. I swing, she swings, you erupt in thunderous applause, and we get the heck off your stage. Does that sound good? Are you ready for this?
Yeah!
Are you ready?
Yeah!
I'm not. Just a second. How's that thing go?
What are you doing? You're not even Catholic.
It couldn't hurt. All right. I swing, you swing, they buy DVDs. Isn't that the deal?
Ooh, DVDs.
Something like that.
I like it. And yes, this is being taped live, so if I die, you can all be a part of this. I hate
Is it really?
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. And the reason why I explained it, if you're going to take pictures, I want you to be aware of what we're doing because once I get started, it doesn't take me very long.
Oh.
And now people are taking my picture.
Here you
All
go.
right,
Yep.
ready? Hey, you missed! You missed! She took your picture and everything and it met. You met. I'm an instructor. You know what? We're doing it again. Oh, yeah! Hey, you get to me do it again when I do something wrong.
Oh.
I don't mind that so much. Stay! Here, hold on. I screwed that up. Stay. Oh, yeah! See? I don't need any help getting it stuff. That is so not what I meant. We had this problem once, and they wouldn't stay up until the kid yelled out, "Use duct tape!" I was hoping he was just referring to keeping the mat in place. Ready? Take 2. Hey! There we go! A big piece of Shelby. Thus ends my tryout. That's okay, I can't take that kind of.
Can I take a photo?
So it's not really a fair Jay Cutler impression, is it? Shawnee! Right? Domo arigato gozaimasu, which as you all know is an ancient Japanese curse that if you do not stay and enjoy all of Anime Midwest, all of your hair will fall out. Hey, I'm not kidding, we left early last year.